Once upon a time, in a dense and vast jungle, there lived a majestic tiger who had once ruled over all creatures. With extraordinary strength and a thunderous roar, he had instilled fear in every animal, roaming the mountains and forests without challenge. In his youth, he hunted swiftly, defended his territory fiercely, and let no intruder set foot inside his domain. But time spares no one. As the years passed, his sharp claws dulled, his steps grew slower, and his once keen eyesight faded. Prey that he once easily captured became too quick for him to chase. Gradually, younger and stronger tigers rose to power, forcing him out of his territory. The very creatures that once revered him now shunned him, leaving him to live alone in the vast jungle. One day, the old tiger wandered slowly through the forest, searching for whatever food he could find. Hunger gnawed at his stomach, making him weak, but no matter how hard he tried, he failed to catch anything. As he stumbled through unfamiliar ground, he unknowingly stepped onto a patch of dry leaves covering a deep trap set by hunters. In an instant, the ground beneath him gave way, and his massive body plunged straight into a deep pit. Trapped at the bottom, the tiger thrashed around, trying to climb up, but the pit walls were too high and slippery. He roared with all his might, his cries echoing through the jungle, hoping someone would hear and come to his aid. But only the sound of rustling leaves and an eerie silence responded. Hours passed as the sunlight began to fade. A small monkey, swinging from branch to branch in search of fruit, suddenly froze at the faint roars. Curious, he followed the sound and found the old tiger trapped below. Realizing the danger, he dashed off as fast as he could to alert the jungle animals. Upon hearing the news, the animals quickly gathered. The elephants tried pulling the tiger up with their trunks, but he was too heavy and the pit walls too slippery. The monkeys threw down vines, but the tiger, weakened with age, could not climb. The deer and wild boars worked together to find another way, but all their efforts were in vain. As the sky darkened, the animals grew anxious. They whispered among themselves until an old deer finally spoke. The tiger was once the ruler of this jungle, but now he is old and weak. If we cannot save him, perhaps it is best to let him go in peace. The animals fell silent, then solemnly nodded in agreement. One by one, they began pushing dirt and stones into the pit using their hooves, trunks, and mouths. At first, the tiger roared in panic, but as the dirt piled higher, his cries weakened. He looked up, his eyes filled with sorrow as he realized that the jungle had abandoned him. As the dirt and stones continued to fall, the tiger initially felt despair. He roared fiercely, his eyes filled with fear as he saw the earth slowly covering his body. He couldn't believe that those who once respected him were now burying him alive. But then, amidst the darkness of hopelessness, a spark of realization flickered in his mind. If he remained still, he would be buried forever. Instead of succumbing to fear, the tiger took action. Each time dirt fell on his back, he shook it off and used it as a step to push himself higher. Step by step, he climbed, using the very dirt meant to bury him as his escape. At first, the animals didn't notice, but soon they became astonished as they saw the tiger no longer roaring in despair but instead rising little by little. After much effort, the tiger finally leaped from the pit in front of the stunned animals. He stood there, his piercing eyes scanning the crowd. Yet, he uttered no words of anger, no roars of vengeance. He simply turned away and walked back into the jungle, leaving behind those who had given up on him. As he journeyed deeper into the wild, the tiger came to a profound realization. Fate is not in the hands of others, it is in our own. Hardships may bury us, or they may serve as the foundation upon which we rise. It all depends on how we choose to face them. This story carries a powerful lesson. Adversity is not the end, but an opportunity for growth and strength. In life, everyone will face hardships, betrayal, or abandonment from those they once trusted. But rather than succumbing to despair, we must adapt and use challenges as stepping stones to move forward. Like the tiger who refused to be buried by fate, we too must stand firm and find our way through obstacles. When faced with difficulties, instead of fearing or complaining, we should persevere, stay strong, and believe that we have the power to change our destiny.